He's the tallest man on the radio, so sit right back and enjoy the show. Fly through the air like a ballistic missile. Here's your host, Ben Kissel.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Ben Kissel Politics, the greatest political podcast going today. I am Ben Kissel at Ben Kissel1, joined by Kyle Plouffe.
Hey.
At Kyle Plouffe. Watch us live and comment on patreon.com/diebud. Also, shoot us an email, okbudpod@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts, comment on politics, send us pictures of your cats, your dogs, your tats, whatever you want to share. I'm going to say this as I hold my salt rifle to kill any bugs that might enter our premises here at Diebud Studios. Kind of getting into cats.
You are?
Kind of getting into cats.
Wow.
My algorithm's been feeding me some cat stuff. They're cute, they're aggressive, they're mean.
Our cat has been attacking my son.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's endearing to you.
They're territorial. But there's something kind of interesting behind the eyes of the cat, of the feline.
Yeah.
Well, we have a bunch of stuff to get to that does not relate to animals in the pet kind, rather animals in the political form.
Oh, no.
Let's start. Obviously, we're going to talk Epstein. We have a war in Damascus now going on in Syria. And we're going to talk about the reason why, by the way, that no one is talking about in mainstream media. But of course, fans of BKP, you will have all the information to blow minds this weekend when you go out to your local tavern and speak with your friends. Let's start with redistricting, gerrymandering, and economics on a state level, specifically when it comes to Texas. I want to play this clip of Donald Trump talking about how many seats he wants the Republicans to carve out in Texas, again, undermining our democratic process and making sure that your vote is as powerless as humanly possible. And then I'm going to talk about what is going on in Texas regarding their economy, and if the people of that fine Lone Star State should continue down the same path they are currently on. So let's play this clip of Donald Trump just brazenly explaining how they are going to do away with the will of the American people, specifically in Texas.
On Texas, how many more seats do you want the Republicans to draw?
5.
And then what if
5.
California, New York, Illinois, and other blue states
Yeah, well, that's
decide to do
okay
this?
too, but 5. I think we get 5. And there could be some other states. We're going to get another 3 or 4 or 5 in addition. Texas would be the biggest one, and
So
that'll be 5.
are you calling then for a complete redrawing of the congressional map ahead of
No,
next year?
just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
And
But
where is
we
that?
have a couple of other states where we'll pick up seats also.
Yeah, a real simple drawing. We're just going to get 5 new seats to help, of course, the Republican majority in the House of Representatives. A new map has revealed the most financially stressed states in America. And as you can probably assume, with the reason why we played that clip, Texas is number 1. Texas is a state that right now, as we've seen with the floods, constantly with the energy problems going on as weather gets a little bit colder down there, their unbelievably corrupt energy company that runs the show, man, there needs to be some legislation passed so that can't happen. Hiking up prices, giving you less service. It's ridiculous. People are actually dying. Texas has also been hit with skyrocketing inflation. This is according to Wallet Hub.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's very official.
Indeed. You don't want to know what a Wallet Hub is in prison. Oh, my God.
It's the real Pornhub.
Indeed. They compared 50 states, obviously that's all of them, across key metrics, including credit score, the change in the number of bankruptcy filings over the past year, and the percentage of people with accounts in distress. They also factored in certain things such as the frequency of searches involving the terms while creating the map. So that's kind of interesting. In these surveys, in these studies rather, they're taking into account what people are searching by state. So you think you're doing nothing is private. Just a reminder. Even if you do, what is it called? Go bitch or something? What's the name of that one? The duck soup?
What?
There's one search engine where it's like, if you use us, you're safe.
Oh, well, there's Google incognito mode.
That doesn't matter.
That's all bullshit.
Yes, as I've watched a bunch of interrogation videos this week for some reason, just get completely addicted. And they'll be like, we got your Google search. And they'll be like, how?
It was incognito.
It was incognito.
There's also been a bunch of class action lawsuits that are like, have you used incognito mode? It wasn't.
It wasn't. I believe it's DuckDuckGo.
Okay.
That's the name of the search that is supposedly private. Nothing, again, that you pop into the internet is private. It will be found if they want to find it. Wallet Hub calculated, quote, the weighted average across all metrics to calculate an overall score for each state, and then they use the resulting scores to rank order of states. If you take a look at the map here, Kyle, based on the color red, the darkest red, of course, being the most distressed, and the lightest red being the least distressed. I will say my home state of Wisconsin doing good, boys.
It's pink.
Not distressed.
Yeah.
Too blessed to be stressed. Go Pack Go. And I thank the Green Bay Packers for that. And the recent success of the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brewers because, hey, they're fun. And they gave us the greatest commentator in sports history.
Who's that?
You know the man. The man.
Marv? Oh. What?
Come on. The greatest
Oh,
commentator.
Uke.
Bob Euchre.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
Wow.
my God. I was about to kick you. We couldn't even be friends if you didn't know
Kick
the
my own
Uke.
ass.
Just a bit outside. The state of Texas is struggling. Obviously, again, they've been in the news because of the devastating flash flood that occurred. As always, blame is going around. I did read that apparently the system did work to a degree. I guess the guy, the main counselor there, he didn't evacuate. He had 45 minutes warning and chose not to evacuate the camp. Again, it's a tragedy. It happened, and blaming people isn't going to bring those people back. But according to analysts, this is their name, Chip Lupo.
Chip Lupo.
Sounds like he should be batting third for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's of Wallet Hub. He says measuring the share of residents in financial distress is a good way to take the pulse of a state and see whether people are generally thriving or having trouble making ends meet. Texas, as I mentioned, placed first when it came down to economic hardship. They've got Ted Cruz, they've got Governor Abbott. The entire show is being ran by a single party. In this case, it's the Republican Party. If you're in New York and you're in California, you're going to see the Democratic Party running the show. Anytime you have a uniopoly. Anytime one party rules, corruption reigns, and that's what we're seeing from the Republican aspect here or there in Texas. Texas also Googled the terms debt and loans more than any other state.
Jeez.
Many people said desperate to borrow despite already owing money. That was a quote, desperate to borrow despite already owing money. And that, of course, is indicative of this country as a whole.
Yeah.
As we're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, our country isn't really our country anymore because at some point you get so indebted to nations around the world that they own your ass.
Yeah.
Or you're super wealthy. On the flip side of that, you look at what happens with taking a loan out from a bank. If you take a small loan out, that bank is going to get that money back from you come hell or high water. But if you take out a huge loan, technically the bank wants you desperately to repay that loan, so you kind of have a little leverage over the bank.
Yeah.
It's the middle class people, the lower class folks, of course not morally, just economically, that get completely and utterly fucked over because if you owe the bank $200K, they're going to get that from you. They're going to put a lien on your house. They're going to take your car. They're going to do whatever you want, whatever they want. Make your wife do an OnlyFans, whatever it might be, to milk that money from your teat.
Yeah.
So Texas, it's just fascinating that the party continuing to reign, the Republican Party, which has promised to help out struggling people, promised to help out the middle class, is once again showing that that is all political rhetoric and complete and utter bullshit. The second state in the most financial distress is Florida, followed by Louisiana, Nevada, South Carolina, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Mississippi, Kentucky, and Alabama. So there is a through line of red when it comes to the states that are struggling the most economically. And that, of course, is because they divide us on this social bullshit, which is why we'll talk about the Epstein thing here coming up in a moment. That might be the biggest social faux pas, the biggest scandal facing the Trump administration. Has nothing to do with policy, but rather everything to do with the Epstein list and the perception that everyone in power is a pedophile.
Yeah, the perception, huh?
So our hearts go out to the people of Texas. And if you are a politician in Texas, this is why it's so shocking that Beto O'Rourke, for example, people had faith in him. He shat the bed. It shouldn't be as difficult as the Democratic Party is making it to look at people and say, hey, I agree with you. Even if the Democratic Party doesn't need, they have such a purity test right now, and it's really hurting that party. Mm-hmm. You can be a Democrat and you can have different opinions on certain social issues. If you win that seat, it's going to be a net positive for the country and for your state. Yeah. In places like Texas specifically. So the Democratic Party needs to open up their doors and say, all right, come one, let's all come together. Film it, make some money, and let's get this economic house in order, because at the end of the day, that's the thing that matters most. And as we just heard with Donald Trump, what are they doing? They are actively gerrymandering, redistricting that state, carving it up like a horrible, horrible plastic surgeon did to, I don't know how many people. My God, I was going to say Caitlyn Jenner, but technically she looks all right.
Yeah. Woman of the Year.
Woman of the Year.
Vanity Fair, her first year.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Why not? I won't tell J.K. Rowling.
No.
That'll just be between us.
Oof.
But economics are what matter. Economics are the thing that unites us all. And if people are happy and they're economically thriving and they can work a 9-to-5 and be able to afford a house, then our society prospers, and then people feel ownership in this country as well. If you own stuff in the country, you're going to have more of a love for your nation because you're going to be truly invested in it. Mm-hmm. All right. That's the end of my morning spiel. Let's move on to what just happened in Damascus. Syria was just bombed by the Israelis. The war continues. The Netanyahu machine continues to mow down people across the Middle East, including blowing up a Catholic church in Gaza, which Netanyahu did apologize for.
Wow. Because
apparently those bodies matter more than everybody else that's been killed in Gaza. They did apologize for blowing up a Catholic church.
Yeah, that was our bad.
My bad. Also, are they allowed to serve wine? I thought there was a no booze policy.
There might be.
I mean, I guess it does technically turn into blood, so
yeah,
you can definitely serve blood in Gaza. As a matter of fact, I think that might be the number one liquid flowing through their taps right now, sadly. Sure. But why did it happen today? Why did it happen July 16th, 2025? Well, it is because Benjamin Netanyahu is currently on trial for corruption.
That's so crazy.
It is happening. He is, again, the man who just came and spoke in front of our Congress, which I thought was an affront to American democracy, is currently on trial for corruption charges. Netanyahu would be in prison if he wasn't in charge. That is how insane all of this is.
Yeah.
So, Ambassador Mike Huckabee, he decided to take a trip to Israel in order to go support his boy, Benjamin Netanyahu. Of course, Mike Huckabee, why is he there? He is the ambassador to Israel of course, a former senator from America. Interestingly enough, he calls the trial of Netanyahu a witch hunt.
Oh.
Where have we heard that before?
So many witch hunts lately.
It's a witch hunt. Benjamin Netanyahu, he's just a naughty little witch.
Yeah.
He's casting spells.
Yeah, he's got his sage.
He's got his sage. Huckabee simultaneously insisted that the president isn't attempting to choose sides regarding Israeli affairs, of course, referring to Donald Trump. But I think we know the side that Donald Trump and the administration and every administration in recent history has had towards Israel, which is sucking the fat ass of Benjamin Netanyahu's corrupt regime. So it is so disgusting that the U.S. sent Mike Huckabee over to be a cheerleader, to sit behind Netanyahu and say, "You got this, big boy. Don't worry about it." He called the judges biased. He's like, those are biased judges against Netanyahu. This is not the first time he has been on trial. He has been on trial many, many times. If he didn't win the last election, I believe 2016, one of those years, don't quote me on it, again, he would have been incarcerated. That is why we saw what we saw today in Damascus, in my personal opinion.
Distract.
A massive distraction from the fact that that administration, led by Herzog as president, Prime Minister Netanyahu, is so corrupt. And they say, well, one way to get people looking not in the courtroom is to go have them look at the ruins on the ground in Damascus as they sent more and more missiles flying over the heads of Middle Eastern people. It is funny to me how no one was talking about this.
No, I had no idea. You told me on the ride over here.
Nobody was talking about what was going on in Benjamin Netanyahu's personal life. And his personal life is obviously a public life, because everything that happens to him personally, we feel publicly.
Yeah.
So he says, oh, okay, I don't want people paying attention to this whole corruption scandal. War, that's the answer. That'll get the coverage away from me.
Wow.
Syrian, right now, human rights groups across the world are looking at Syria, and they're going to start counting the bodies very, very soon. We're going to see how long this goes on for. It's certainly not going to end anytime soon. I was reading during the first, 6 months now of Donald Trump's administration, he's already bombed more places than Joe Biden did his entire 4 years.
Wow.
Again, this was a man who campaigned on promises of ending forever wars. And now the U.S. is saying that they agreed to, quote, specific steps that allowed Israel to strike Damascus. And the irony of those specific steps, they say, was to end Syrian violence.
Oh.
You're going to end violence by bombing the fuck out of the capital.
By ramping it up.
Israel's military struck the Syrian Defense Ministry. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this is what he says. He says, we're working to save our Druze brothers. More than 350 people have reportedly been killed when clashes between Druze militia and Bedouin tribes erupted. Can you search Druze, D-R-U-Z-E, so we can tell the audience exactly what they're all about? The Syrian military began to withdraw its forces later as of Wednesday of this week, and the U.S. said it agreed to steps to end the violence between those two factions. So who are the Druze?
The Druze are an Arabic-speaking ethno-religious minority in Syria, Lebanon, Israel, and the occupied Golan Heights.
Golan Heights.
The faith is an offshoot of Shia Islam.
So we are pretending as if the Israelis and the U.S. government give a fuck about the Druze.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is according to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, a man whose ears are just getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, he's got jug handles?
I don't know what's going on.
It's handlebars.
I feel like he's a mix of Pinocchio and Dumbo, where every time he lies, his ears get bigger. I really don't get it. Have you seen the videos of him laughing at Donald Trump's jokes?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. So awkward. Such a little fucking cuck. It's ridiculous. These people are such pussy fucks. Only the greatest analysis happening here, BKP. They're such pussy fucks. Quote it. He says, we have agreed on specific steps that will bring this troubling and horrifying situation to an end tonight. There are so many places that are absolutely going through worse amounts of true genocide than what's happening in Syria. So the idea that they're doing this to protect a religious minority is complete and utter bullshit. Also, if you want to talk about religious minorities, that's what Saddam Hussein was a part of, the religious minority. And he was the only one keeping the Shiites and the Sunnis and everyone else at bay. Granted, his children were horrible, and he also did some horrible things. I'm not saying he was a good person by any means. It's Middle Eastern politics and Middle Eastern powerful politicians, so they're all going to be pieces of shit. But nonetheless, he did keep relative peace in that region for a while, as long as humanly possible, until the U.S. said, it's better if it's destroyed, specifically the U.S. at the behest of Netanyahu and Israel. So now we have another war in the Middle East, and still the land war in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. And as we mentioned in the last episode, Ukraine just receiving billions and billions and billions of more bucks from the United States. So we can make sure that that war continues.
Yeah.
Because God knows the people in charge who are owned by the corporations that run the world know that war, what is it good for? Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to get. All right. I want to go to the comments actually on that. Anyone commenting on that? Because I just think that's so fascinating that Netanyahu is literally sitting his fat ass in court as this happens because of him.
Yeah, and I can imagine if I was ever on trial and they were like, "Don't worry, Mr. Plouffe, Mr. Huckabee's on his way," I'd be like, "No, thanks."
Yeah, I'm good. The Huckabee family photo is so freaking funny. They're all wearing the red. They all look like Ken Bone. Yeah. I don't know if you remember Ken Bone, who gave a question at a CNN town hall.
Yeah,
and I actually interviewed Ken Bone. He's very, very nice. He's a good dude. But they were looking through his Reddit, and he loved pregnant women because he called them human submarines. And he would jerk off to them and shit. But good for him.
The Huckabees, they all look like Buzz's girlfriend from Home Alone. When he picks up the picture, he's like, Buzz's girlfriend. Yuck.
They really do.
Chris G said, can't be violence if everyone's unalived.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's true. Sounds like Donnie's playbook.
Exactly.
Vanessa's talking about there's a YouTuber in Syria, and she's not from Damascus. It's so fucked up. Their infrastructure is so damaged from conflict that they're only given electricity a few hours a day.
Wow.
So yeah, people have solar power if they can afford it, but it's all restricted hours.
So they're already struggling, and again, in no way will those bombs overhead do anything to help the people who are struggling in that region of the world. And much like we were talking about with COVID, bombs don't know your political affiliation. They don't care about who you are as a person. They don't care if you're good, bad, or indifferent. They blow up. They explode, and your body will explode just like everybody else's. So this idea that they're doing it to help one group of people, as if the bomb, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit with the bullets, that had a purpose because they were sentient.
Right.
But bombs are not. As if the bombs aren't going to explode and kill the very people that they're pretending to love. All of a sudden, we love the Druze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jews and the Druze.
They can be like, we thought it was Drewski.
Yeah, exactly. He's a rapper, right?
He's got like a fake rap record label.
He's a comedian?
He's a YouTube comic.
I'm so old. I hear all these new names. I'm like, who's Drewski? Tell me now, who's that?
He was the main part of the ESPYs last night, too.
Oh, was he?
With Shane, yeah. They did like sketches and stuff.
Oh, that's hilarious. I thought Shane Gillis was pretty funny. Whoopi Goldberg was really unhappy, but I don't know if she was the target audience.
Yeah, Gillis had this joke at the opening monologue. He's like, there was supposed to be one more joke. Oh, it was an Epstein joke. It must have deleted itself.
It must have deleted itself, and that is a perfect segue to what's going on right now regarding Donald Trump and the largest controversy that has shook MAGA, Make America Great Again, his fans to the core. This was one of the campaign promises that he and his ilk have been making for years and years and years, going back a decade. As a matter of fact, I believe it was 2015, the debate between he and Hillary Clinton was one of the times where Donald Trump has promised that he was going to release the Epstein file and he was going to hold everybody on said files accountable for what they have done. Obviously, that did not come true, with Attorney General Pam Bondi saying, hey, there ain't no files whatsoever. And as we talked about, Ghislaine Maxwell saying, hey, then why the hell am I here? And I promise you, is there a bet? You were talking about that website where you can bet.
Yeah.
Is Ghislaine Maxwell will be pardoned? Can you see if there's a Ghislaine Maxwell pardoned live bet going?
Let's see what the odds are.
So most Americans, this is a recent poll that has come out, most Americans, according to a Quinnipiac University national survey, found that Donald Trump is wrong when it comes to the Epstein matter. Only 17% of Americans polled said that they approve Donald Trump's actions in the Epstein situation, and those 17% might need to be investigated. Who on earth would be like, yeah, don't release that, who cares? Yeah, all those pedophiles that got away with it for years and years and years, all the people that have destroyed countless amounts of lives for their own political and power gains, let them, who cares? 17%, almost 1 in 5, they're like, I don't care. Well, yeah, they rape kids. Who among us?
Well, who hasn't?
Who among us?
Just a couple kids.
Which does make you wonder, is that the number? 17% of the American population that is dabbled in that?
Jeez. I hope.
The number's a lot higher than we think it is.
Definitely.
20%, and this is almost actually worse. The 17% who straight up approve of it, and then 20%, they're just undecided.
Yeah, you know.
People rape kids, but
What is there to think about?
What is there to think about? Who does this harm other than a whole bunch of horrible people?
Yeah. And they always find each other. They
always
connected
find each
on the
other.
black market something. They group together.
Oh, my God. And, of course, when it comes to the systematic review of what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, the official word is that he committed suicide August 10th, 2019. I was on tour at the time. I remember I got to the airport and I found out, and I was like, oh, shit. I was talking to somebody at the airport bar, and we just were like, so that didn't happen, right? So he was killed, right? And apparently somebody who spent a lot of time in that jail vicinity, they say there's no way that Jeffrey Epstein could have committed suicide. Also, there's more minutes from the tape that was released that were evidently carved out. And now we're finding out because of what metadata.
People went through the metadata. It was actually edited through Adobe Premiere.
And then they talked to Pam Bondi about that, and she was like, wait, what? You can tell that? It's like, yeah, you stupid bee.
Yeah.
God.
You got nobody in post-production over there?
Please, Lord. So according to somebody who was actually locked up in a very, very similar cell, they said there's nothing that you could hang yourself on. As a matter of fact, the quote is you would have to be, he said the word mirje. He said midget.
Ooh.
So he said you'd have to be a little person in order to hang yourself in Epstein's cell.
Jeez.
So he said there's no way. I was there. He said he was there for like 9 months. Right. But Donald Trump, he has tripled down on talking about how the entire thing was a hoax. He says, quote, scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at reading, like me apparently.
Oh boy.
And no good at picking winning candidates. He's not wrong about the last part, unfortunately. Yeah. He says their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into this, quote, bullshit, hook, line, and sinker.
Wow.
They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 years.
Yeah.
This is just freaking crazy that he's pretending as if he wasn't the one who promised to release the list.
It's so crazy because everybody who works in government, they're on different sides. There's gonna be someone who's gonna be like, this is not gonna fucking happen.
Right.
There's gotta be someone.
Well, you have the leader of the House, Mike Johnson, breaking with Donald Trump, saying, no, can you please release the freaking files? We all know. So again, this is the largest fracture to date within Donald Trump's Republican Party. And it's all his own doing because many people went single issue on this. They said, yeah, he might fuck me economically. I have no idea what it's going to be like for immigration, but he's going to get all the pedos out of the government. And it looks as if the pedos in the government got into his ear, probably showed him a couple of videos of him having sex with children and said, do you really want to go down this road, Mr. President? And Donald Trump said, no, let's just go bomb in the Middle East and give some more money to Ukraine. And again, we'll distract people, and the people who are going to pay the price for me fucking children are innocent folks across the world as they die and get blown into pieces.
Yeah.
Trump says, I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
What?
Because the people that are being charged are all the people in charge of everybody.
Right.
He says, I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. I don't understand why he's giving this red meat to ridiculously flawed institutions like CNN or MSNBC. They're going to be correct on this issue. They've been wrong 95% of the time, but they're going to be correct on this.
Yeah.
All it's going to do is help out the very media that he pretends to hate, even though, again, he utilized the media to become exactly who he is, which is the most powerful man in the supposed free world. Don't forget, when he was running for office in 2015, he got 20 times the coverage than any candidate on CNN. They wanted him fucking on that network. They understood he was bringing in ratings because he was, and they're the reasons he was elected. And then afterwards, they pretend as if they had nothing to fucking do with it.
Yeah.
Them, SNL, you name it.
Like racism.
Exactly. And now they just have a bunch of fucking pseudo intellectuals on there yelling about white people. And it's like, well, they're the ones in charge, and they're the ones who you put in charge because you wanted to get fucking ratings.
Yep.
So this is according to Tom Fitton. He's a conservative and a MAGA ally. He says, I don't think the Justice Department and the FBI have the confidence of the American people to get to the bottom of any of it. We're at the bottom of it.
Right.
This is not complicated.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, he wasn't a financier. He was a straight up CIA operative.
Ooh.
He knew nothing about finance.
People are saying he's like an Israeli operative.
It's very possible.
That he was.
It's very possible. He knew nothing about finance. He did know a lot about science and math. He was very good at science. There was just somebody who was the head of Harvard's science department, and he was just in an interview, and he was talking about how Jeffrey Epstein knew everything that he was doing. And no one pays attention to what they're doing in the labs of Harvard.
Right.
But Jeffrey Epstein knew every single thing he was doing regarding science. So Jeffrey Epstein's main area of study wasn't finance. It's so obvious. It's despicable that now they are pretending as if there's nothing to see here. At least in The Wizard of Oz, when they pulled the curtain back, the wizard wasn't like, hey, I'm just the janitor.
Yeah.
At least he fucking admitted to being the asshole that we all knew he was.
Right.
So that is, again, any comments on that? I mean, this is one of the dumbest things. And the fact that they treat us like we're so stupid, it's really an abusive relationship. It's emotionally abusive in many cases. And then sadly, in some other, we'll talk about ICE, it's also physically abusive.
Yeah, Haley's saying that should still be surprised if his base turns against him. I really hope they will, but I doubt it. I think obviously there's going to be people who stick with him no matter what, but this is the first time I think in the 8 years, well, I guess it's the 5th, that people have actually shined a light and actually are like, you are full of shit right now. Mm-hmm. So it is interesting that even Andrew Schultz and Joe Rogan both have said, this isn't what I voted for. And now I feel like I've been lied to. It's like, well, yeah.
But it's ridiculous that all of a sudden, like, what do you want me to have sympathy for you?
Yeah.
Why did you think he was going to do anything other than exactly what he has done here?
Right. But there have been large numbers of Andrew's and Joe's own listeners that have gone against him. So I think that's indicative of also what happens via Donald Trump.
Right.
Because that's why they're upset. So
they're going more. So Joe Rogan's audience, at the end of the day, they're going to choose Trump over Joe. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying they're choosing neither of them now because they're like, all right, you guys are all full of shit.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So I think that's happening more often.
So we'll keep you up to date on that. I'm sure everyone is following it closely. Again, it's one thing to follow, but it's also a massive distraction in another sense because we do have war and peace to talk about. We have economic situations occurring that are devastating millions and millions and millions of Americans. Medicare being cut, Medicaid being cut, SNAP programs, all of those things extremely important. So don't lose focus on that. Let's talk a little bit about immigration now. What's going on here? They talk about, this is the largest deportation this is the largest deportation program in the history of America. I actually think that may have been when we killed all the Native Americans, but what is actually happening? Yes, it is the largest deportation in the history of America, but it's also the largest data collection event in the history of America. Immigration and enforcement officials have been given access to 79 million Americans' personal data, including home addresses, ethnicities, and Medicaid enrollees. They're doing this to, quote, track down immigrants who may not be living legally in the United States. 79 million. So that's damn near it's about 1 in 4 Americans. ICE now has all of your information. The information will give ICE officials the ability to, quote, find the location of aliens across the country. It was an agreement signed this week between the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and the Department of Homeland Security. You can't trust anybody. You can't even trust your own therapist. If you tell your therapist you're depressed and suicidal, your life insurance goes up.
Oh, my God.
Because they have to tell your life insurance. It's ridiculous. The entire system works against you. And then you wonder why people are pissed off and people are shooting CEOs in the back of the fucking head and why Luigi Mangione has a musical coming out praising him.
What?
Yeah. It's
wow.
And people be like, oh, that's horrible. What kind of culture would celebrate death? This one.
Yeah.
That's how badly people are being treated. It's sad when a CEO becomes not a martyr, but a symbol of corruption and a symbol of vengeance because people are happy that some justice was taken. That's how pissed off people are right now. They looked at a dead man who had a family and said, good riddance.
Yeah, and that's the important point you said. It's a symbol. Because there are people that even got mad on this show that they were like, oh, you're celebrating a man that said, it's like, no, this is the idea of a person who represented such greed.
Exactly.
And allowed a lot of people to die that the one time that person gets taken out, people are celebrating it.
And truly, I feel horrible for his family, for
kids,
his children.
Yeah,
you know, he may have been a nice guy personally. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a symbol, exactly right. He almost doesn't matter. And that's very, very sad. But it is because of all of the things that are happening strategically to fuck us all over. And they're still taking our money and charging us more and more and more every month.
Yeah.
So the latest data sharing agreement makes clear that ICE officials intend to use health data as one of the tools in order to track down people who are perhaps illegally here. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is safe. Our data, it's all taken, and it's horrible. And I really wish that we're already past the precipice of the beginning of the end when it comes to the AI prison that we're currently in. Right now, it's still kind of fun and games where it's like it's messing with my algorithm. It will be messing with everything very, very, very soon. Yep. According to HHS spokesman Andrew Nixon, they wouldn't respond.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
There you go. So they would not. So according to their spokesman, they said, not now. I'm the spokesman, but I don't really I'm not talking.
Yeah.
What are you spokesmaning then?
I'm not going to spoke.
I'm not going to spoke on this. It's literally in your name. Spoke, man. But not now?
Yep. I'm not going to speak. I have spoken.
The IRS is... you didn't speak. Well, yeah, that's fine. The IRS is also building a computer program that would give deportation officers unprecedented access to confidential tax data. This is from ProPublica, which is a great little entity out there. The previously undisclosed dispute shows that now it would create an on-demand process allowing immigration and customs enforcement to obtain the home addresses of people they seek to deport, and they get those addresses from confidential tax data. So think about that. These people are paying taxes. Those are the people we want here.
Yeah.
We want the ones who might not be fully legal citizens, but might be residents of this country who are paying fucking taxes to stay here. Those are the people that are contributing. Those are the people who want to be part of the American system. Yeah. And as we've talked about, and as many people have talked about, the people who are allowed to stay are the ones who are underground.
Right.
Are all the gang members, are the rapists, are the murderers, are the people who are doing corrupt bullshit who aren't stupid enough to register with the government in any possible capacity because they realize the government's just going to fuck them over.
Laying low.
God, I'm so close to talking about how they're making the frogs gay. Am I in my Alex Jones era?
Let's go.
Again, that guy, he was right sometimes, and I just wish he wouldn't have spewed so much stupid shit.
Actually, Chris or someone was asking, Charlie Kirk, didn't Charlie Kirk and the Frogs Are Gay guy say they were pissed? Alex Jones is very upset about the Epstein files. It goes against everything he's been talking about for many years.
Absolutely.
Charlie Kirk originally did, I'm looking it up, he originally did come out, and then Trump called him personally, and now his quote is, quote, "I'm going to trust my friends in the administration."
Charlie Kirk looks like a Dick Tracy villain. His face is so fucking small. His head is so big. He looks like Bill Hicks used to have a great line where it looks like your dad came on his chest and your mom sat out on it in the last minute.
Oh my
God. He looks like the sperm wasn't even good.
Yeah.
And all he does is go to college campuses and argue with idiots who are still forming their opinions.
He doesn't even argue. He just tramples over everything they say.
He's like, congratulations, you beat a 20-year-old in an intellectual debate. They don't know anything yet.
Right.
They're learning, and they will learn. And then they'll destroy you in your stupid fucking arguments.
Yeah, he's another guy with a lot of gums.
Oh, God. I want a ban on gums.
Yeah.
You can have your gun, but I'm... Just get that lip surgery where they clip the lip and have it go down a little bit.
There you go.
As a white man, he's hurting us.
He is.
It's really, really hurting us. We can't have that.
You just trust the system.
No. So this is one of the things that is not being talked about enough when it comes to immigration is the data collection, how they're getting that data. And of course, ICE, they have access to it. Any other agency will have access to it. And now with the new laws, with the courts allowing them, greenlighting them to have access to this personal information, it's a massive violation of privacy, a massive violation of our, I believe the Fourth Amendment would be, what amendment? Privacy, but go with this, like data collection and stuff, because there's a couple of them that hit on it. And again, they're looking to see if you're undocumented. So how many documented people did they just get all the information for that are here legally?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you're one of the good ones for now.
Right.
Until we say that you're not, and we choose to make your life a living fucking hell.
Well, yeah, it's like you said too with the therapist. You tell them the truth, and then they're giving your information out to insurance companies, the police, hospitals. You could lose your job.
Seriously,
it's like, why are we choosing to fuck people over with the exchange of information that we're exchanging when there's still law enforcement agencies that refuse to talk to each other over people who are doing horrible shit?
Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, also why the Epstein stuff hits home so much, where it's like our privacy has been completely ran over. We're talking like, I'm gonna straight up go mid-90s football, man. I'm going fucking the running back for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
What was that man's name? 90s running back.
Emmitt Smith?
Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
They are trampling us like Emmitt Smith used to trample the Packers, but what's been happening since? Packers coming back.
Made the playoffs a couple times.
Come on. But it's ridiculous. And that's, again, why people see what the powerful people are doing to cover up their own bullshit, as we are being exposed more and more and more. Let's talk a little bit about economics. And I'm not going to lie to you here. I am not an economic expert. I can follow the stuff. I got my investments. I know enough. But when it comes to crypto, I'm not a huge expert. But I do know enough that I want the government out of it. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of cryptocurrency. Unregulated, a fair and free economic market.
Unregulated, but people think that sounds like it's just complete chaos.
No.
But it's actually the exact opposite. It's very trackable. Everything's in the blockchain. You cannot corrupt the system whatsoever. Unless you fuck over the stablecoin situation. So that's one thing that really got messed up with Luna. But other than that, most of the cryptos, other than shit coins like Haktua coin, you look at your XRPs, your Solana, your Cardanos, your Bitcoin, you're going to be okay.
I'm not doing anything with Cardano. They sound like they're about to put cement boots on me. Well, all of that might be coming to an end.
Uh-oh.
House Republicans have cleared a key procedural hurdle this past week to unlock consideration of a trio, that's thrice, 3 cryptocurrency bills. The chamber has adopted a rule which governs debate on legislation, as we've talked about. You have to vote to vote. You vote to vote, literally. Then you vote to discuss, and then you might vote then. But usually it's why gridlock. This is why it takes for fucking ever.
Guys, we're going to vote today.
We're going to vote. Okay? That's why they're such nerds.
Yeah.
So the chamber adopted a rule which governs debate on legislation in a 217 to 212 vote. The GOP lawmakers said that the procedural effort is going to be allowed. The vote remained open for well over 8 hours, making history as the longest vote in the House as lawmakers engaged in negotiations behind the scenes. In a strange bedfellow when it comes to politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene is right about this.
Uh-oh.
She was the only person in the Republican Party to say no. So the old MTG, even a broken clock, right? She is correct on this, and I am fair. So I tell it like it is.
There's some flowers.
I take my bias and I set it aside when people are correct. The GOP leadership was able to secure most holdouts to support the motion, aiming to add a crypto provision to the National Defense Authorization Act.
Okay.
So they're squeezing it into the NDAA. It's going to pass legislation that would put it on a path towards landing on Donald Trump's desk. My understanding from talking to my friends who do crypto, like how this would, for all intents and purposes, end it as we know it and really just make crypto any other American currency. This is according to Speaker Mike Johnson, who is supposed to be capital L libertarian on these things, but again, they're all corrupt and all full of shit. He says, we had a very productive meeting today. I mean, everybody was there in good faith. They all have the same priorities, and I'm pleased we'll be able to get this done. The president is as well. I just spoke with him, and obviously this is a big priority for him, and it was for us. And so this breaks the logjam and allows us to get our work done. He goes on, and sometimes it takes longer than at other times. Thank you. Well, wow, thank you. But it's all part of the process, and you all know how this works. No, we fucking don't, because you change the rules all the time. We build consensus, and we got it done tonight. So I'm very, very pleased. If you are a crypto person in the comments, let me know what you think about this.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in here that are. The Wagner Logic is saying crypto is very bullish at the moment. I have seen there's a lot of green going up. XRP just went up a lot. Jeff is saying up 10K on Bitcoin currently. Pano on MTG is saying even a broken clock is right one time only.
One time only. I love that. Thank you, Pano. So the House has passed 3 bills, and that is intended to boost the legitimacy of the cryptocurrency industry. Legitimate in the eyes of the government. It's already legitimate.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, they're just old. They don't understand crypto. So that's why they're trying to do it. I think that it's a position you would want to take, but I think they are all very knowledgeable about what's going on. I think they would like to be in control of it and make more money that way instead of playing the actual market, which, can be very volatile.
And they are very old, and they might not know jack shit, but the people that are going to lobby them, they know what's up.
Yeah. The people who are talking to them, they have to know what's going on. You got to put your trust in someone at some point. So I think they know exactly what they're doing.
So one of the 3 bills would legislate and regulate the type of cryptocurrency called, as Kyle mentioned, stable coins that had already passed the Senate with bipartisan support. So of course it does. They're both fucking us. The other 2 bills are broader measures to create a new market structure for cryptocurrency and a bill to prohibit the Federal Reserve from issuing a new digital currency. Now, the Federal Reserve, the whole thing was how nice it is that crypto doesn't have to deal with the politics of the Federal Reserve, because you have Chairman Powell, who Donald Trump put in office or put in power, and now Trump hates him. And it's like, you fucking had just appointed him 4 months ago. And so because of that, the markets become unstable, and markets love stability.
Yeah.
And crypto is able to kind of skate above that or below it, however you want to see it. And it's able to provide more security, ironically enough, now than it would be if the Fed has anything to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
everything's very trackable. So like the U.S. government doesn't even want this because they lose track of money all the time.
All the time.
So if they see on the blockchain, we sent it to whoever, they'd be like, people would be getting pissed.
The stable coin passed 308 to 122. That was the vote. So 122 people said, no, fuck this. 308 said, let's go.
Yeah.
They say it sets initial guardrails and consumer protections, but everyone knows the risk. There is a risk. There's an inherent risk to investing in the markets and in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Because you get rid of the risk, it doesn't make things necessarily better. So they're doing this because they don't think people are smart enough to know how to spend and invest their own money. And crypto people are very smart when it comes to that shit. They'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They will let you know. It's like, how do you know someone's in cryptocurrency? They'll tell you. Same thing with veganism, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And communism probably too.
Right.
So that's one of those bipartisan issues where they're both wrong. And when it comes to money, again, that's why we are officially the middle person in the human centipede of shit. Yep. Just lastly, going into the weekend, let's get some positive news. Hopefully some positive news. Urge Congress to pass the New START Act. The New START Act, it comes in from Senator Ed Markey. He's a Democrat out of Massachusetts. And Cory Booker, the very, very gay man out of New Jersey. I like Cory Booker, but I tell you one thing. He wasn't really dating Rosario Dawson, okay?
Oh.
Remember that she's called a beard.
Wait, he's gay? I didn't even know that.
Yes, everybody knows it. And it's fine. I just wish these politicians would, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So they have, because this is good. Markey and Booker, this is very good, and I love this. They've introduced groundbreaking legislation to create a 5-year pilot program through the Small Business Administration. It would award grants of $100,000 all the way up to $500,000 annually to organizations training currently and formerly incarcerated people in entrepreneurship.
Let's get some prisoners in here.
They know how to fucking work. You think you go to prison to sleep. You don't sleep very much, apparently. That was one of the reasons I'm not going to go.
Yo, you don't want to go?
Yeah, I don't want to go anymore. When I was a kid, I was like, fuck it. You get three meals a day. You sleep all day, hang out with your boys.
3 hots in a cot, baby.
And then I watched that one guy who's toothless.
Guy?
Yeah, no, there's one guy who's like toothless, and they interview him all the time. He's like, yeah, in prison, don't fart. If you fart, it's juicy. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Be like, that's a juicy fart.
Juicy fart.
And they'll look at you and they'll grab your butt. They'll be like, give me that juicy butt. Oh. Anyway, so we don't want people going there.
No.
And when they go there, when they come out, we don't want them going back. So this is a positive thing. It reminds, Trump during his first term was actually a little bit more proactive on this. So the Next Step Act, it's a positive step in the right direction, and hopefully it can pass. Programs nationwide are achieving strong employment outcomes, and it significantly reduces the risk of recidivism, which some people don't want.
Right.
People want that circle to continue. People want the revolving door. There's a lot of money in inmates. However, from a human perspective, we don't want that. Graduates earn competitive starting salaries while saving taxpayers thousands of dollars annually. That's you, thousands of dollars annually, by avoiding reincarceration. And maybe reincarnation. Because you go there and you get fucking shanked and you die.
Yeah.
I'd be so pissed if I got reincarnated in prison.
Well, if you have multiple life sentences.
Yeah, I don't know. Do those travel up to heaven or hell and be like, well, you got another one. You got another 150 years.
He's locked into the system.
Yep. So this is a positive thing. The New Start Act acknowledges what forward-thinking leaders already know, which is that necessity breeds innovation. Research consistently shows that individuals within the justice system, when they are involved in society, they make good employees, and they can also make good entrepreneurs. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, 81% of managers report these employees perform as well or better than their peers without a criminal record. And a Rand Corporation study found that individuals participating in prison educational programs were 43% less likely to return to prison. The bill also addresses massive economic gaps. The U.S. spends approximately $80 billion annually on incarceration, yet faces a massive shortage of skilled workers. So boom, get rid of both of those with one bill. So hopefully the New Start Act, it can pass, it should pass, and this would be something positive for the American people, the American consumer, the American business, and the American economy. All right, lastly, let's go to the comments.
All right,
what do we got?
Right before we go to the comments, we had to answer one question, which was, is there a bet on Ghislaine Maxwell?
Oh, yes. What do we got? Do we got one?
We have a list here.
Oh, let's go.
Poly Market. Leading the race, Changpeng Zhao is the number one.
Okay.
31% chance. Roger Ver, don't know who that is. Steve Bannon at 14%.
Okay.
Rudy Giuliani, Julian Assange. Diddy is at 8%.
What, does he need it anymore? I don't think he needs it.
I don't know. There's a lot of people. George Santos is at 8%.
Free my boy George. I'm a George Santos Republican. I've said it before.
Sam Bankman-Fried at 7%. Then we go down. We see Derek Chauvin at 7%.
Wow.
Just past that, our boy that we spoke to on Death and Entertainment, Joe Exotic at 6%.
Oh, get those numbers up for Joe. Out of all those people, Joe is not the one that needs to be there the most.
And oddly enough, Ghislaine is at 5%.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
And Edward Snowden at 3%. Let my boy Eddie out of it.
Yeah. Elon Musk has a preemptive pardon at 2% here.
Preemptive pardon. Oh, my Lord. Well, enjoy your Teslas this weekend. Go out, go camping, go barbecue, hang out with friends and family. That's what matters the most. Thank you all so much for supporting the shows. Rate and review. Thanks to everyone who's watching on Spotify right now. Join our Patreon. I'm not sponsored by Bug Assault Guns, but get your Bug Assault gun.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic. Don't shoot your dog like Cumin Jerry did with Dog Jerry.
Oh, boy.
Caused a little riff in our relationship. But that's okay. Just joking around. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Love yourself. Be yourself. Hail yourself. We'll be back next week. Bye.